that I wasn't going to talk about Brian Buchanan anymore. They killed the live stream. And then it took forever to shut it and start another one. So, anyway, as I was saying, um, a healthy of mind, dude. Okay. It upon so when did you break up? When did we break up? And then there'd be laughter because we were never a couple, right? We were never a couple. So we broke up probably on the honeymoon. If we were even together before the honeymoon. Just the whole thing's a disaster. Like, just clearly hung on a little too long. Right. It was just 2.5 years of, right. There's not really anything to get over. It's sort of like, whatever. When you're doing something else, you're not even talking about it. So far, in the amount of time since I met Brian, I didn't meet another dude I was interested in. It wouldn't even have gone on this long. Right. When you have nothing that holds you together as a couple, right? Yeah, I mean, he obviously has tried to move on. He's tried to go out with other people like Colleen, and it didn't work out. That's why I said it was probably wicked upsetting to him that didn't work out because he doesn't think she's attractive. He has a lot of negative things to say about her. That's not what you do when you like somebody, but that's Brian's brain. Remember how nice I was talking about him when I thought he was dead, and you didn't tell me he wasn't dead, and his family didn't tell me he wasn't dead? You just go, you people are all fucked. But, anyways, like someone like Sean or Michael, right? How many negative things did I have to say about them? Right. It was like that with Brian at the very beginning. I remember the Rumble videos, remember? All just like, oh, and this is so wonderful, and um, you make me want to live again. Thank you, and corn throw and all that. Right. Just none of that was real. And then if I bring it up, he'll bang that down to the ground. You just go, no, I wouldn't. Unless if I was going out with someone for a while and we were getting closer, sometimes you reference that as it. This is probably a boundary that's like a block I'm having right now because of what just happened to me with that dude. I would say don't even use the people's names unless they ask the person's name. Don't even use their name. Just call it a dude or a chick. Person, like that person, that dude, that chick. Don't even give them names. Don't make up weird shit like Raggedy Ann. Okay. I don't believe he was doing that to like nullify it either. I really don't. It was like he's honoring it, like he's still honoring New York City, he's still honoring holidays and stuff, just for no reason, right? There isn't any intimacy with Brian to even reveal, right? You just go, it was bad from the get go. And because I believe in proper courting, right, and his like only hypersexuality was when he was using and stuff. Yeah, you get confused. You think the person has a big whatter for you when you clothe like that, and then even Plymouth. Just the stark difference between Plymouth and then actually courting and stuff in terms of how this would ever happen to a person. Like back then, he was like, because he was probably just high as a kite. And he will tell me that now to even nullify that. Just staring into each other's eyes, holding hands all the time. Like people that were around us were like, oh my God, they're like, this is so. That's why people thought he died because they didn't even believe he would take off from a hospital like that on me. Yeah, it was like a big, huge denial that people are in, which affects people's belief in God. Like, how the hell? Right. So, anyway, um, I don't anymore, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't happen. But I mean, so far, I don't have like a person that I like and I'm like thinking about making MMs about and stuff. Yeah, clearly when you meet a person, that would make sense. It stopped when I met Brian. And then at first, like when he was in Faulkner Hospital, sure. But the second he took off from Faulkner Hospital like that, you can't even do it anymore. You can't even do it because it's when you think about them, it's you feel hurt. It just completely kills it. Yeah, like it was doomed from the time that he took off from Faulkner Hospital. Even though he would take off and stuff, we weren't like in that serious of a relationship. Once you actually marry someone and you're in hotel rooms and stuff and you're still rejecting a person and you're still taking off like that, right? Remember I stated that before? Right. When once you have sex with the person and you're in a tent with the female, it's over. Right, you don't have the best cheesecake you ever had in your life, and then you just will do anything to avoid cheesecake after that. That doesn't make any sense. So I think that after the honeymoon, and then I would say it like this, maybe not exactly the honeymoon, but the first time we went to a hotel from the shelter and nothing happened. Okay. Right. Like when we were in hotels in Orlando and he was just curled up in a bed sleeping like that. That's why I say I think at that point I knew it was over. It wasn't exactly the honeymoon. You go, oh my God, this guy has issues. Maybe he's never had sober sex before, whatever, whatever. Like clearly we did it, but you just go, even last December, he at least attempted to perform after the Thanksgiving thing and shit. After, I'm pretty sure that was December. Okay. And then for some reason, I'm thinking it was not one, but two hotel stays that he did this, where he just completely slept and didn't have sex. Right. So you go, I remember discussing it with the staff member at the shelter after the time in February. Right. She just goes, "What?" Yeah, like people don't expect that when you're married like that. They expect that you're doing stuff and then this person takes off and cheats or takes off and uses and cheats. They don't expect to hear that he's completely not even having sex with you. They just are completely avoiding having sex with you, and all he does is fucking sleep. They're not expecting to hear that, right? Well, I can't sleep at the shelter. You just go, yeah, she goes, "Sleep at the shelter? Why you don't sleep at a hotel?" Yeah, just every person goes, "Oh boy," because they didn't know that was going on until I started talking about it like last February and March. Anyways, so yeah, it's like basically just a terrible mistake. It's almost like you had a one nighter with the person and got pregnant or something, and then you married them. And you just like all you do is live together and you have no affection. It goes beyond just sex, it goes beyond impotence because nothing goes on, not even cuddling. And if you notice that he sees us in public, we're never holding hands or anything either. And in 2023, we were always sitting in a court and chair holding hands, kissing. I was like stroking his hair, we're staring into each other's eyes, we're watching a phone, laughing, and you go, all of that was an act. And remember, it started weird when he was showing me videos of whores dancing around and stuff, like complete grooming. It's like a person who thinks that's what you do, that's a girlfriend or a wife. You groom her at first, right? Yeah. And then once you have sex, you just completely reject it like that. Like that's why you go, it's got to be a family member doing that. Like I could see the adult going, now we have to have a different type of relationship because people are watching us. It's usually like a female in a family member that gets disgusted with themselves and then just goes, you're gross and stuff like that. Yeah, you just go, whoa, you're bringing me down. You know you don't care about somebody when you don't care that she found out that her mother is approaching passing away. and you do this. Yeah, you know that everything you're making up to others and maybe yourself is the jig is up. So, anyways, I went on to talking about other things, and then the criminals didn't like it, so they ended the live stream right at that second. It was like they don't know what they're doing. They're so demented. They never wanted me to be with Brian anyway. They never wanted me to be married and happy. So you can't make up your mind except you're questioning your own MMs and the fact that not everyone's being saved. And yeah, how is God allowing that? He's not allowing it, just like he didn't actually allow you to take my children to my house and make me homeless. There's not a special reason for it all. That's God doesn't extinct a population for no reason. Okay, so anyways, I'm not going to keep hopping on that for you folks. So an adult man, okay, doesn't mean he's old just because he's an adult man. That's what I was joking about. I look pretty damn good. I was just married to a person who's 38. I met him when he was 36. I'm not going to rape a 14-year-old child. No, that's disgusting. I have no interest in that. But I mean, a dude who's 40 or late 30s, sure. I'll rape him. No. Anyways, an adult man who, unfortunately has had relationships himself. Right. Even Phil talked about his ex-wife and stuff, and we somewhat talked about Al. And you don't run away from what's going on in a person's life, and just everything is about your drug and alcohol problem. Anyways, yeah, you have to be honest. Don't make up a lie. If you're not over a person, then don't date. I know it's tough. Some people get lonely. Yeah, if you're not over a person, don't date. But you'll kind of know it if you meet someone and you're not even talking about your ex. Right. Like you can find other things to talk about, and after you reveal to the person, yes, I just had a second failed marriage or whatever. Yeah. And then if they ask about it, or you're going out, then clear it's like a friend. So you're obviously bonding. It's not like, yeah, it's not really that complicated, just like any other friend. It's like I tell people, I go, I'm not really like sitting around crying. Yeah, like I haven't even cried real at all, I don't think this time. I've gotten sad a couple times, kind of just about my basic life, like most people are nowadays, just things that are going on in the world. And, I feel bad for myself. I would say if I ever got like teared up or something right now, I feel bad for myself in the sense that I know that I'm a wicked good person and I don't deserve all this, and it's just sad. Yeah, like there's nothing about Brian to miss because we weren't having conversations and stuff. He's just so detached. Um, I have a phone I can talk to. Like it was getting to the point that even when I was with him, I was live streaming because just it's a video of New York City at Christmas. Just I've been there. Oh my God, babe, you gotta see this, right? Okay. I watch stuff he sends me. Babe, you gotta see this called the loyalty test, right? He didn't even watch it. Oh yeah, he is just I know every time, sorry, he's just so mean. Right. He is so fucking mean. Just, oh babe, did you watch it? No. And he doesn't watch it then either. I don't think I want to even be friends with the person who doesn't watch that thing and go, oh my God, these people. He thinks that's negative. Yeah, you just go because he's it. He's the person. Me, it never happens to me. Okay. But if my boyfriend went outside to smoke a cigarette, sometimes you don't know until it happens, but that's probably a good question for a future boyfriend. He goes, if we both smoke or we both don't smoke. Say we both smoke, which hopefully eventually I will stop smoking, but I'm definitely not hopping myself on that right now. He goes outside to smoke a cigarette, right? And some stranger just goes, "Get yourself some real food." Say it's this, okay? Yeah, a man would understand this. Say it's this. We're discussing maybe like I went and got Suave shampoo at a donation. Okay, because we're playing. It's different with food though. It's different with food because we have a snap card. It's not we don't have a snap card, right? But the snap card has to last, and we're taking a trip to New York in a month. So if we can get a sandwich from Map, and the food that Brian buys is always 4 times the price of mine. Always. One energy drink is like $4. So keep that in mind. Dude who thinks Brian is, whatever the dude thought. Okay. Uh, $8 sandwiches when you can get a sandwich at Map. And he was told to get food at Star Market and refused to do it. Just got a fucking donut. Shit like that. Okay. So you know that as a dude that we were just at a store and you offered to buy me cheesecake with the Snap card and I refused to do it, right? Okay. So I say something about, oh, I should have probably got like cheesecake or something. And well, we got this stuff from Map. Okay. And then you get up and you go, say you go into the toilet. We're assuming we don't smoke, right? And some stranger goes, get yourself some cheesecake and hands me $40. Okay. Is the question, what would I do? I would take the $40. Yep. I would take the $40, especially if it was a female, because I'm not bisexual. So you don't have to worry about me doing deviances with females and shit. Um, Plus, if I'm going out with you, I'm not interested in anybody else. If I was interested in somebody else, I'd break up with you. I don't do that. I never do that. Ever, ever do I do that. Just know that. It might take a day or two, but like usually the relationship would be over or I'd never meet anybody that I thought was hot. I'm just being honest about my life course. It's just the way my brain functions. I'm not an animal. I don't just go, ooh, penis. Okay. Right. That's the beauty of going out with only people that you find attractive because with Al, it gets confusing because you go, yeah, but he's gross. Anybody's a step up from that. Right. So, anyways, it wouldn't happen. Even if the guy was attractive, if I like you, nobody else exists. That's totally how I am. Okay. I would take the $40, right? But in my head, just know I know the person is fucked, especially if it's a dude. Just know in my head, I know the person's fucked. And then when we have if the person's gone and we have an opportunity to talk, I don't go, oh yeah, and then this person after you left handed me $40 and said get some real food or something like that because that's insulting you. Clearly, that's insulting you. Like, what even caused that to happen? And why do it after you left somewhere? Right, you'd be like, "Yeah, some person just slipped me $40 the second you fucking walked away. Whatever, $40." Because I was nice and I go, "Maybe the person thought that we didn't have Snap or something." Okay, why didn't you just hand it to him while I was sitting there? Right. Trust fucking no one. I don't even know if it's just about being homeless. Okay. Trust fucking no one. It's never good when someone just all of a sudden approaches you or talks to you when your boyfriend or your girlfriend steps away for a second. Trust fucking no one. It's very unfortunate because people are so fucked up, especially in a city and especially being homeless. Trust fucking no one. I have met so many fucking scumbags and liars in the past 15 years. It's awful. Um, right. Certain things that I think are fucked up, and no one's going to change my mind about those certain things that I think are fucked up. When people are a couple, especially when they're married and have rings on their fucking fingers, you don't have conversations with them when the other person's not around. That is fucked up. Because normal people that aren't fucking Brian immediately tell their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their spouse what just fucking happened. They always tell them, and they think it's fucked up too. They know it too, and they discuss it. Well, let's have a phone conversation with the married man about his housing, and then again say something about um, we might be able to get you a one room for brain injury, but it's you can't have your wife there. A normal fucking person wouldn't say that to a married man, and a normal fucking married man would immediately. I mean, knowing me all this time and living homelessness himself, he would go, okay, well, he would have just told Ben no. Right. He would have just told Ben fucking no right from the get go. That's why that dude's all about opportunity. But a normal fucking married man that is married to me, for fuck's sake, and is homeless himself all this time and knows how fucked up everybody is, he goes, no, nope, I'm on Champ. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it again about SROs and studios and stuff. Like, what I all due respect, but whatever's going on with people's brains, where they literally think a married couple isn't really married, shouldn't be married, and you know something we don't know. That's what a normal fucking man says. That's the shit I say to people myself. I won't say it anymore because we're permanently fucking separated and gonna be annulled. Just never ever again will I go out with the fucking person who talks like that. I told Brian over and over again, there was this dude at the shelter, and this isn't as bad because he didn't fucking marry a person. I was in the room, okay? And the guy running one of those classes asks him something. The guy gives a 10-minute speech about his girlfriend he met at the shelter. Like, you would have thought he was going to fucking cry about how much she has helped him and he doesn't know what he would do without her. And she's been so supportive and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'd do without my girlfriend, right? And the guy goes, if you were offered a room, but she couldn't go with it, would you go? He goes, yes, immediately like that, without fucking hesitation. He didn't even think about it. Okay, that's fucking disgusting. Just know what you're dealing with. People that fucking sick and insane. Oh yeah, you are sick and fucking insane when you actually it's one thing to just hang out with people because I've seen people talk like this and go, I'm just having fun and hanging out because my top priority is housing. I want nothing to do with long-term relationships or fucking marriages or any of that. That's one thing. These people are acting like they've met the love of their fucking life, right? They're even marrying people. But then, when asked privately if they would leave them for housing, they immediately say yes. You people are fucked. That guy was sent to the hotel and someone broke his fucking leg. I saw him later in one of those cast things with the fucking crutches, you think? And that was after he ended up at a shelter because his ex-girlfriend threw all his shit away and kicked him out. You think? Oh, yeah. Some of these people are complete fucking sociopaths. It's shocking. So, anyway, actions speak louder than words, and it's called opportunity. Yeah, I mean, in some respects, I still sort of say that, but we don't have to test everybody. If you won't lay on the fucking ground with this person because the world has gone fucking mad, then just leave the fucking person alone. Because I've been through enough. I really have. I don't want anything to do with your fake fucking love shit and your opportunity. Really. That's why other people don't go out with me, because they don't want to do that to me. It is. It's like, it's so fucking nasty and disturbing and gross. That other dude too. I hope to God the chick he did that to is just like him. Because if he's saying that shit to us in a room she's not even in, he's saying that shit to her. And she has no idea that he just fucking embarrassed her and belittled her in front of other people in the shelter that she lives with. And then every place she goes, we just kind of look and in our minds go, oh, that poor fucking chick. Because I'm not going to tell her what he said. That's the worst of all fucking people right there. The worst of all fucking people. He didn't even have a private conversation with the guy in the room, just the two of them, the staff member. He said it right in front of other residents. So anyway, Brian may have said that shit to Ben because he's having meetings. That's the other thing. He doesn't like telehealth because he doesn't want to talk in front of people. I don't make him talk in front of me on telehealth. And I've done telehealth with my therapist, with Brian sitting right there. She doesn't even think there's a problem with it. But when you're a lying fucking scumbag, there would be a problem. So he goes in when he can. That's probably why he doesn't like telehealth. Okay. And then he's having a phone call with supposedly someone that's offering him housing. I can hear your side of the conversation, Brian. And so did my sister. We've talked about it. So yeah, when we were here the last time after that phone call, and then the stuff that he told me that the person said, I go, you should just go. You really need to just go and stop this. I don't want to leave you out here. Really? You've left me outside on purpose and called me a fucking wacko many times. Okay? You're not sticking around me until this person offers you a fucking apartment. No. There's no way. I remember I had a high school boyfriend I really liked too. He was always wicked complimentary and stuff too, and drove me around in his car. That's why I said never again. I remember when I met Al, every single day we're on the phone, just like he did with Angel. Every day from his work, hours and hours on the phone talking. He never ran out of things to say. He never got tired of me fucking talking. He never blocked me out with the fucking phone while I was talking. No. I started doing that to him with the laptop because I was done with the relationship at that point. Not I did it right from the fucking get-go. There's probably men might do it too, but they're more subtle about it. I'm sure there's plenty of females where they might just get up from a fucking table in the middle of a date and leave. And then people probably think she's fucking crazy too. Oh, something triggered her. Something triggered her, or she just goes, is your telephone actually on? Oh, let me guess. Is that the text for you to escape a fucking date by? Remember Hard Eyes Killer? And Brian hated the fucking main character in it? That speaks volumes. And the only reason he hated it is because he knew I liked the film and he knew what it was about. He's that fucking sick. I thought it was the cutest film. And he called her a fucking bitch. You missed the part where the guy that she supposedly was mean to fell in love with her, right? Because she's a fucking bitch. Or she didn't want to deal with the Casanova. And yeah, you just go, she's a bitch? Whoa. Just know that. I mean, I know, tell me if you ever see anybody that I'm talking to for courting, and just come up and go, just so you know, we already asked him about Hard Eyes Killer, and he thinks she's a bitch. Okay. And you have to stick to it. That's how never again happens. That's how never again happens. Hi, yeah. Well, I've decided, yeah, it's not really, this isn't really what I want because someone told me that you saw Heart Eyes Killer and that you thought the female was a bitch. Is that true? Did you say she was a bitch? No, it doesn't matter why you thought she was a bitch. Okay. No, I'm just looking for something else. No hard feelings. The whole film is called Heart Eyes Killer, like your ass, a heart shaped ass. Because dude staring at someone's fucking ass kills a fucking romance. Just put daggers in your fucking wife's heart at that point. So if you thought she was a bitch, you're not the type of man that I'm looking for. You have no fucking heart. Just like Brian Buchanan. You're fucking heartless. Yes. If you're gonna push it to that point, and yes, now I'm a psycho and I have issues. You see, when you don't fucking see a thing. They all liked it. That's why they were talking about paper fucking straws and metal straws and shit all over Twitter. The Trump administration, everyone liked it. It's not just a fucking chick film. You are most certainly not joining us. You're quite frankly not invited to join us anymore. Okay? Talk about a screening for a fucking film. Okay, so let's all go watch this. As I did, I dragged his ass to that fucking thing. And then that's what he had to say, that she's a fucking bitch. And it was the way he said it too, like he fucking hated her. Whoa. I know, just everybody who starred in the film, the dude who played the dude probably went, what? Did you miss the part how I risked my life to fucking protect her and save her? Like, what the fuck are you on? You're calling my fucking love of my life a bitch? Talk about beating the fuck out of you. How is she a bitch? Do you know her? Did she talk to you? Or she explained to a dude who it seemed disgusting because she was assigned a work assignment with him and he met her and wanted her to have drinks and shit. And then he's talking like he's going to take her back to a hotel and fuck her for business sake. She's a bitch. I seem negative. I know you just go, what the fuck? And then you're a mean woman. You just go, I'm a mean woman. The chick from Hot Eyes Killer is a fucking bitch. What's next? Meg Ryan is a fucking manipulative whore. No, who's the other one? Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, that fucking Jezebel. That would be so funny. If the chick from Hot Eyes Kelly, don't worry, Mary, okay? I'm a bitch and you're a mean woman, really. You have to. You're right. You have to just be like, have I been hurt a bunch of times? Like someone might ask you that. I I would save that maybe for later on when you already have a click connection. You know how those Match.com couple of dates guys? I'm sure you know who you are. Yeah, that's too much too soon. I probably wasn't sexually attracted to you, and I hadn't gone through sobriety or anything to even know that, right? Just think of it, the super hottest person, right? If you're single, you should have a super hottest person, and hopefully it's not the person that just fucking raped you by coercion and did all that shit to you. He's not. Okay. In 2023, I would have chose being with Brian over the super hottest person I've ever met in my life, but that's changed now. How you view people changes how they treat you for the positive and the negative. So the super hottest person who's never done anything to me to cause me to think of him like I do of this Brian Buchanan person now, the super hottest person I've ever met, if we were beginning a courting and he goes, have you been, would you say that you've been hurt a lot in relationships? And I'd go, I definitely, like my high school boyfriend at the time, I believe I was like hurt. Yeah, I definitely was hurt that didn't work out, but I was only 16. My ex-husband, no, I wanted a divorce. I got married because I was pregnant. That Phil guy, I think I was a little bit disappointed, but like I wasn't in love with him. I was just like disappointed, so I was hurt. And then this Brian Buchanan person, at first, yes, not at the end of the marriage, but at first, yes, devastating hurt a couple of times. Like at the shelter, right? Was it right before the wedding when he took off with that Sean guy? Was it when he took off with the Sean guy or to go smoke pot and he left me on Pond Street? I literally broke down standing waiting in the coffee line at the shelter. I've never done that in the history of Father Bill's place, and especially in front of people. I literally emotionally broke down, like my whole physical body, and I was crying. And there was nothing I could do but just stand there. Um, so not at the end. No, obviously the last couple days I've not been doing that. Right. So what about you? Because yeah, I think if you had relationships and you broke up and you never were hurt in a relationship, um, that might be concerning, I guess, but I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Like if the person said they had all these relationships, but they ended them and they were never hurt in a relationship, they're not putting themselves out there in a relationship. Right. They're taking the easy route and going out with people that can't hurt them, like my first husband, and they're not putting themselves out there emotionally. They're not like going out with someone that could kind of scare them because they might hurt them, and they don't go into it like there's a blockade. So they're not hurt when it doesn't work out. Yeah. Yeah, you could be a complete heartbreaker. Do I feel that um, people have been hurt in relationships they were in with me? Unless it was my ex-husband, no. Right. Um, I don't think my high school boyfriend was hurt in the relationship because he destroyed the relationship and ended it. Um, Al, I would say might have been hurt, but fine for the wrong reasons. But I don't feel Brian Buchanan was hurt by me at all. And I don't think that Phil guy was hurt by me. Yeah, so I would say only my ex-husband, maybe for the wrong reasons, because he clearly we weren't happy in the marriage, and I did him a favor by divorcing him. So, um, yeah. Well, a super hot person might go, yeah, I think I probably broke a couple of hearts, and then he would explain why. Like, yeah, it would be good if he knows that, if he knows what he did, that I engaged in relationships that I felt were safe for me, whether it's because he felt in control of the relationship, he didn't want to get hurt. It was just easy to be with someone that was all goo goo for him, and he didn't care either way. Right. Um, I would say that that's got to be the truth, regardless of what they say. Um, say that you say you're just a dog or a dick, then it's got to be that, but you haven't processed it enough. You're still not putting yourself out there by not saying it in regular language. Like, I just didn't want to get hurt. And so, or I didn't realize like the difference between, um, I don't know, like sexual attraction and like really being enamored with someone. If you said you didn't know the difference between those things and stuff, and that's why you didn't, right? You just went out with people because you thought you were horny and this was easy to do, and the person took care of everything, whatever. Definitely ask how they ended relationships. Yeah, definitely ask how they ended relationships. I know, I should be like, so I know, right? If you're not super attentive towards me, that I need to break up with you. I shouldn't be attracted to you if you're not like goo goo gaga over me. Because I knew that's what I wanted, remember? When I'd say someone's not eager enough, right? I knew I wanted someone that was wicked into me. It's just in my defense, that is how Brian Buchanan pretended to be. When you don't know you're dealing with a sociopath who preys upon people and is a prostitute, you can't really be at fault. If someone told me that happened to them and it was true, I would have to believe them. And that's why you proper court and you're not drinking every time you're together so that you can have real conversations. And over time, a pretender can't pretend for that long. They really can't. Right? They really can't. And stuff like lapses in time of talking to you, taking off. Yeah, like the second they do something weird like that, just don't go out with them again. Date three, right? Date three. I was telling my sister and a friend, even my friend Jerry, who's always been a platonic friend of mine, we've never had anything but a platonic friendship. And I've known him since like 2016. He would just go, well, I'm going to go downtown now and do all those terrible things I do. And then he would leave. He didn't concoct reasons to just go bloopity bloopity bloop. Right. Because there was no reason to lie about yourself. And I didn't say he had to be sober to be my friend. Yeah, I think Brian Buchanan lies anyway. Some of them will lie anyway, even when you could tell a person like Brian Buchanan, because remember when we were both drinking and he still fucking did it? Just know that. Don't think if you use, he's not going to do it to you because he is. Just warning you. That just came to my mind. We both drank for like a day. Remember that? He didn't even care about my liver, okay? Even when we were both drinking, he did it to me, and his party friends told me that he does it to them. Right. So it's not he does not do this stuff just to use. He's doing other stuff. And he's just insane. Yeah, I mean when you have a male friend who doesn't swing the other way ever, and he's telling me, "Oh yeah, he all of a sudden he will just." He told me he beat up his friend Donnie once. Right, he will just all of a sudden just and you're like, "Dude, what the." Right. So anyways, um I don't think I've ever gone out with the person who did that before. Yeah. No. Nope. I'm thinking in my mind, I haven't had that many boyfriends. Phil didn't really do that until the end. An older divorcee when I was a year older than him. Yeah. Oh yeah. He sounds homosexual, doesn't he? Yeah, he's the one that I questioned if he was actually homosexual, but he was like in denial about it. Yeah. They still have sex with women. Yeah, some of them are actually hypersexual. Okay, until they realize what's wrong with them. But yeah, that's not what gay is. It's just right. Anyways, that's something that a homosexual man would say that's being a cat. An older divorcee, right? I don't even know if a straight dude really would say that to a woman. Yeah, they just scream old cunt at you. I don't know if they go an older divorcee. We were in Cambridge. He was the guy was playing at what the hell's the name of it? Club Pasm. Yeah, we were right in Cambridge. Which train was it? We didn't. Did we take the? We didn't take the train. We stayed at the Hyatt, right? And we drove and parked. Yeah. No, we took a taxi from the hotel. That's right. I picked them up. I flew up here from Florida, rented a truck, picked them up at the Logan Airport, paid for the hotel, two separate hotel rooms, stayed at the Hyatt, and then we took a taxi to Club Pasm and back. And those people showed up we didn't know were going to be there, and so we had to go across the street for drinks with them. And I was a little bit kind of like, what the fuck, man? No one's even supposed to know I'm going out with you, and you're having me have drinks with these people. I'm fucking married. It's a marital divorce with alimony and children. Like, what the fuck? I told the guy that. I'm like, he knows about it, but I don't want a record of this. And you don't go on YouTube videos and shit. You don't have dinners with people. Anyways, no, Al 100% knew about it. But you have to have decorum. You have to have decorum. You're like, we're having drinks. Oh, God. Phil didn't know how to get out of it because these people do stuff for him. Right. So, anyway, finally that ended and they gave them some free booze or something. They gave them something, right? And then we take a taxi back to the hotel, right? And then of course I go keep looking for liquor. Even Phil is like, oh, you're gonna go look for some drinks? And I go wandering around the hotel, nothing's open. It's like way too late to get more liquor. So anyways, how did I start talking about that? Oh, right, like that could be a homosexual man, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know that's what's wrong with him. Yeah. So, anyways, used to be Jim Morrison. Yep. I can drink used to be Jim Morrison. No, I can't really drink used to be Jim Morrison on the table, not consecutively. He drinks every single day, even at lunch. We went to lunch on the beach in Clearwater Beach, and me and his artist did not order any alcohol, and he did. Yeah, and plus, if I was driving, I don't drink and drive. Yeah, those would be some of the times I started getting annoyed because when I'm sober and I'm surrounded by drunk people and I'm there to visit my boyfriend and get laid, I get a little bit annoyed with the nonstop party. At least until I can park the car and then walk across the street to the beach um, bar and then partake, and then I was okay. But that was a different night. I got annoyed because Phil started making plans, and now I'm gonna drive drunk fans that do favors for him places without even asking me. Yeah. He had a smooze and stuff, and I really wasn't interested in that. I drove to places to spend time with the man I was having a affair with, a sexual affair with, because that's what I was resorted to as a married woman with a man that wouldn't divorce me. I couldn't have a real boyfriend. But I was going to get some sex, and that's what I did. And then when I found out that he was lying and he was getting too emotionally involved when he had no intention to be monogamous, so I got rid of him. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I never told the guy I loved him. He was never my boyfriend. He said, I don't make a very good boyfriend. I said nothing because I almost wanted to go, that's good because you're not my boyfriend. I'm married. Um, right. And then when you find out the person is lying to you about sex, you get rid of them. Right. It's not really exactly like your butt hurt because you fell in love with someone and they didn't want to be with you. You just go, I'm not doing this anymore because at this point I've got to make a decision. I mean, if you're a paid whore, you're not sleeping with other people and I know about it and stuff, that's kind of bad for my ego. It's going to affect my sex. Right, that's the decision you make where you're either going to enter a real relationship or you're not. I also knew I had to do something about getting a divorce and finding a way to support myself. So anyway, that's what happened with Phil. I broke it off with him. Yes, I broke it off with him because, like I said, it got to the point where you either decide you're in a real relationship and you stop fucking around and you stop lying to me, or that's it. I asked you a straight out question if you were fucking other people and you told me no. You weren't even my boyfriend. You had no reason to lie to me other than you wanted to keep fucking me. And that's not fair. You don't get to do that. Because he knew I wouldn't keep having sex with him. He liked having sex with me. Right. That's exactly what happened. He liked having sex with me, so he lied and said he wasn't having sex with other people. And so I stopped having sex with him. Yeah, I'm really not dumb, even when I was drinking. And I had money then, so I didn't have to do certain things. Not that I do, but you know what I mean? Like that was only 5.5 months, not this 2.5 years. Phil put out. He put out. We had sex. Get it? Okay. So I paid for hotels and we had sex. And I had fun. I went to concerts and stuff like I was in the fucking Grateful Dead groupie thing. But I wasn't a groupie. I got to go in the green room and everything. Yep, I drove these people around. I went in basically in the back door and stuff. You just go, otherwise, no thank you. Yeah, that's why I don't go out with musicians. Nope. None of them are monogamous. None of them. They would have to retire completely from fucking touring. None of them are monogamous because there's so many fucking whores out there. And it's just the nature of being in a band. It just is. Musicians themselves tell me never go out with the musician. Don't do it. Enjoy their music, maybe think they're hot, but don't go in a relationship with them. Unless you are like that too and you don't care about monogamy and you don't fall in love with people and you don't get jealous, as they call it, which means possessive, not you envy a whore. But that's exactly what happened with Phil, just to reiterate. Yeah, I guess I did get rid of Brian Buchanan. I guess I did because he texted me again. I could have said, let's get back together on the 1st, meet me at the warming center, which is not going to happen. Yeah. Just for what? Phil had an English accent. He was over 6 foot tall. Do the math. You're not the only person on a planet with a fucking dick, Brian Buchanan. Like, he's so obnoxious. I'm not 20 years old. That guy's dick worked and he used it. Yeah, just what in the world, God? He wasn't really that sort of experienced because he had never been just with one person for a long time, you could tell, and he was a drunk. But I mean, he could have sex each and every time we met up for sex. We had sex. His penis worked just fine, and he was what 37. and a really bad alcoholic. Just he didn't take all those psychiatric meds apparently that make a person completely impotent. He didn't feel the need to like withhold his fucking dick and try to make me feel inferior. He was always complimenting complimenting you with like most men I've ever slept with. Yeah. Most men naked in a bed with me go, "Oh, they don't act like that dude does." So anyway, he's never been with anybody hot. But sometimes, yeah, like I said, some people just like slam pigs. They don't have any comprehension of beautiful women or sexy women or model type women. No, like there's some people just like all that projection ass and boobs and flapping gut and stuff. It's hard to tell with him because he makes up shit. First, he told me that that chick he was with was always chunky. Then he told me that he felt like he actually stopped her from eating enough when he was with her, and then she got super fat when they broke up, and he thought it was great. He thought that was like their revenge that she got fat after she got away from him. Yeah, just she probably had to cope with dealing with all of her life being a victim of child abuse and living with someone that made her feel like she shouldn't eat because he made her feel terrible all the time. Oh my God, this wicked obnoxious thing that Brian said to me once too, where he told me that even though she made more money than he did, okay, get it? Okay. Because she apparently went to college and drove a Prius, so she was making money. And she probably couldn't figure out how to get the fuck away from him. And they worked opposite shifts because she clearly didn't want to be with him. And I told that to him too. I said, but the way I put it is, you clearly didn't want to be together. And he's probably thinking in his mind, yes, I did. Okay, well, she clearly didn't want to be with you. Okay, she didn't want you to ejaculate inside of her. And she worked an opposite shift from you. And you have no children. You have no reason to be working opposite shifts, but that you don't want to be together. And the second she got another boyfriend and had the opportunity to get away from you, finally, she did. And yeah, I'm sure he beat her down too. And she was probably so disgusted by everything that she might have been anorexic or something. And went through that whole thing about she's a vegan and all the stuff he told me that she didn't make any sense, like most of them don't. That she thinks that she's doing all this shit for causes, but yet she drives a car, even though it's a Prius and all this nonsense. Yeah, that I agree with. I've met people like that. They're just young people that are naive and they're not really thinking about what they're talking about in terms of the environment. So we can just all, as a collective, be happy she got away from him. As far as I know, she has no contact with him or his family. Yeah, as far as I know, he doesn't know anything about her. He gets angry because he can't see pictures of her on Facebook and stuff. Remember when he would show me pictures of her boyfriend? You go, what the fuck? They have not been together for like 8 or 9 years. That was last year in Orlando. I don't know if he's sexually attracted to her boyfriend, which again, that should tell him something about his abuse. Why are you staring at photographs of your ex girlfriend? It's not even ex girlfriend's boyfriend, and he's not even have a shirt on. I don't think he's a homosexual. No, I just think it's related to the abuse. Did the mother ever have a boyfriend? Like when Brian was still having contact with her, even if he wasn't living with her, was she having contact with him and had a boyfriend? You never know. Maybe the boyfriend never told her. Like, did Brian ever try to, mess with him? Even children do that stuff if they've been abused. Yep. It could have been something so weird that the boyfriend didn't know how to explain it to the woman. Or he did it, and of course didn't tell her if he's a diddler. Yeah, just because that's a way for him to get back at the mother by doing that. He told me he got his stepmother kicked out of the father's place. How did you accomplish that? Because she was cheating on him? Who was she cheating on him with? I know, just these people are so fucked up. Clearly, your father was a disgusting fucking pig. Right. Clearly, your father was a disgusting fucking pig. How is he sleeping with your friend's mother and your stepmother is cheating on him? I know you just go, and he met your mother because they were drug addicts, having sex in a tent and smoking crack. These people are disgusting animals. Sometimes, sometimes it comes from not being able to like Facebook and tweet with people that used to be online a few years ago. It makes me a little bit more like talky on a live stream, and then I start to get a little bit agitated. Yeah, sometimes it was funner in the earlier years, and then they stopped us from talking to each other. Sometimes, yeah. Like, you know how they had that first wives club or like a woman haters group? Sometimes, yeah, because other people sometimes, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'd get annoyed with it or not, but they won't let you keep talking about it. That's why I do this. No one will listen to me when I talk. Right? You just go, could you ever just be like gay people where we all just like we're all sad old hags when we're not, and gay people where we all sit in a circle and we just fucking talk about someone that's a scumbag? Could we ever just do that once and not keep going? Just block them. Just stop thinking about them. Just stop. No, that's not what we do. No, that's not what we do. Do we stop talking about fucking celebrities? Then why would we stop talking about scumbags in our own fucking lives? Can we ever just agree to do that? Why not? What else are we talking about? How to get more fucking crack and Adderall? We're never just going to sit around and just go, oh my God, yeah, remember this? Just because that person didn't fuck you is not the conversation. Kim Kardashian didn't fuck you either, and we'll talk about that for 2 days. For real. I'm just putting that out there because that's happened to me in my life too. And then when do we get to talk about, I don't know, I'd have to pick someone who has like a similar thing. When do we get to tear that person to fucking shreds? Why do we all just go, okay, let's talk about, no, let's not fucking talk about something else. Let's not. Let's not fucking talk about something else. It's Royal Beach Club. Right. If we meet other hot people, we're not going to destroy getting laid and making social connections and a glass of champagne or whatnot, or a fucking mojito, whatever the fuck, pina colada. Sure. I'm full on for that. But in the meantime, right, you don't want to have a fucking boyfriend or a girlfriend that it fits right into a fucking social group of yours. Oh my God, we might seem bitter and we might seem still stuck on the person because we think a scumbag is a scumbag. Oh no, she still thinks he's a scumbag. I don't think she's ready to date. Why? Another scumbag? She's still attached to one scumbag, so I don't know if she's ready to take on another fucking scumbag. Right. That's how you meet dudes go, oh my God, yeah. Fucking, oh yeah. My brother or my high school best friend, he was doing that shit. And then finally, I just couldn't even take it myself. He hit on me. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. You just go, I think if you're gonna go out with someone, they should definitely think that this person is a fucking scumbag, right? The hot eyes killer chick is a bitch. Get it? Right. Just stop separating so much your real self from when you meet people, because then you're gonna have a definite problem. I don't really want to seem like if I go on the thing and I seem like I'm still talking about him, then maybe some super haughty guy will get turned up. Really? Hard eyes killer. Not fucking getting it. Right. Maybe listen to the person bitching about some person that he met online that didn't turn out to be how he thought it was going to be. And not get all like, because that's why I didn't get like that with Brian when he was talking about someone. When did you break up? 7 years ago? Okay, you clearly don't still, it's clearly your dick isn't still hard because it's been 7 years. Like, you're just emotionally not the fuck over it. Like, that's insane. Right, you go, "Okay, so you when you hear me talking about a dude, you go, yeah, you clearly don't even like him because" right. Not like I would go out with you. Ask Phil if he's still living. Not like I would go out with you and then that's why he says in the song, "You laid out all your offering." Like, you what did he say? You spurned your words because it's over. That's why my words were spurned, because it's over. Whereas a fucked up dude who is a sadistic asshole, he couldn't get that because he treats everybody like that. He has no fucking boundary and has never cared about anybody in his life. Right? You go, he didn't know enough to go, I just fucking there's no way I can ever talk to her again because I went into fucking the hospital. I put her hand on my fucking dick and then we're cuddling in the bed and shit. I asked this chick to fucking marry me. I told her sister when asked that we were getting fucking married. She's got a ring on and I'm gonna get a ring. And now I got to go to a fucking detox. So she's somehow breaking up with me when I just crawled out of Colleen's fucking asshole 24 hours ago, but she doesn't know that. So I guess I'm going to pretend to go to a fucking Faulkner hospital and take off, but never talk to this person again. Nope. He literally talked to me again after that. And then again, and then again, and then again. And what happens with people like that, they do blame me. And people around him blame me too. Like, I just, I used to feel bad for Mary, but I mean, come on, now I don't anymore. I don't want you to feel bad for me, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. What makes more sense, and I'm not saying this is in order to do this, but it makes more sense the people that absolutely refuse to have anything to do with Brian anymore because of this, including his family, and then the people that ultimately beat the fuck out of him. That makes sense to me. Right. You just go, you should be able to fathom by now since I've explained it online 20 times. Right. Several times I've tried to get away from him. Okay. And then after the brain injury, I didn't plan to try to go back with him. All right, just you should know how it is if you've ever been in one of those things and you're stuck in a homeless shelter. Okay. Like something like this. That's why when I was in High Park, I didn't see the guy for an entire year until I was made street homeless again. I would have never, you need to think, okay? If Tom Kent was still living, I would have never seen Brian Buchanan again. I'd still be living in that room in High Park. I'd still be trying to get Social Security, taking my walks, trying to get housing. It's because I was forced to be homeless again that I ever saw him again. He never once tried to reach out and contact me. Okay, that's not good. You're mad at Scott the cop because that's why you lost your halfway house and you would have never been in Quincy Center, and you would have never saw me again. We would have never got back together again. You go, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, that was his explanation for what happened. He will probably say now, he goes, what the fuck was I supposed to do? This chick wouldn't stop saying wants to marry me, so whatever, I married her. I'm sure that's probably how he talks. That's his real self. If he's not personaing you, that's his real self, because he says that shit to me, and he sounds angry when he's saying it. Remember 4th of July before the wedding? That's the shit he did to his aunt for years. And I'm sure he did it to the ex-girlfriend, as you call it, for years too. Because he told me, and he probably had C. diff then, which makes sense now. He's probably had it several times with the pneumonia or whatever it is that's causing all that shit. Like I said, I'd have to look it up, like if that's common for people that are drinking out of trash cans, or having like random sex acts without bathing. Right. Say he was having random sex acts with someone who's immune compromised without bathing. I would think you can catch C. diff that way. Okay. They in the hospital they were saying it was wicked contagious. So obviously another person isn't going to admit that they had that. And what? Um, when would he have caught it? Is there an incubation period between April? Wasn't it April when he was hanging around with the homosexual guy? Okay. So, and then he was having issues with his bowels and had to pull down his pants at the library to poop in June. Remember that? And pooped his pants a little bit. He didn't already have it then. Anyways, just something to think about. It crossed my mind even when he was in the hospital. Of course, I looked into it. So, he told me the last time he saw that chick, the child abuse victim, that he was laying in a hospital bed shitting himself. That doesn't sound like C. diff. If you don't know what C. diff is, man, oh my God. They have to put a tube in your anus, okay? Because you literally can't control it. It's not even like regular diarrhea, and it just comes blowing out, and it smells like absolutely wretched. So it's like it a lot of times in a hospital setting, because of taking antibiotics for pneumonia, you can get it, but it sounds like you can get it if your immune system's compromised too. I don't know. Maybe he had pneumonia that time too, and the antibiotics gave it to him again. I have no idea, but that's what he told me. I'm sure that chick probably just went, I am not doing this again. Could you imagine now it's been like 10 years? If she ever saw Facebook or heard about it, she'd go, oh my God. Could you imagine if I still stayed with that guy? Because she wasted 14 years of her life stuck in that. And now it's been another 10 years. That's 24 years of your life. Just every 2 months, having someone do all that, take off, demand to come back to the apartment. I'm sure probably if she ever tried to lock him out, banging on the door and shit, threatening to kill her, laying in hospital bed, shitting himself, getting pneumonia. Yeah, like just seeing and knowing what he does when he's outside and stuff, you just go, that's gonna be difficult. I'm sure she's probably like, whoa. Whatever possessed me that day to just never answer the phone when he calls. Yeah. I don't know what happened there because he still calls that number. So I don't know if it's like still her phone number, but it couldn't be because how could every new phone number be blocked? It's almost like they gave that phone number to the internet zone so it would forever ring. Yeah, or he's completely lying. Yeah, like it doesn't just go to that number is no longer in service, or somebody else doesn't answer it that's not her that got that phone number. Or he doesn't even remember the phone number and he thinks he does. Remember that? Or he's just completely lying about it. When he took off from here last year, and he supposedly bought us both watches so we could communicate with each other. And then when he took off from here and I went to rescue him, he goes, so I made my first call on my smartphone um, to Plymouth, and because I'm not saying anything, he goes to my ex. That was the only number I knew. Candy just goes, he is just so sick, Mary. He knows his aunt's phone number, so it wasn't even true. Oh yeah, it was my hat. I know I've gone over it a million times. Moving on. Yeah, I do it so I can listen to them too. I think I mentioned that. It's good for me to listen to them. Someone outside smoking. I know. Could you imagine? No, that would never happen. Trust me. But you just go. You'd get a little bit nervous, right? It's the dude next door. Let's see. I'm not going outside without a charger plugged into this thing. This is my best case scenario, even though for a lot of the time I can't actually live stream because I couldn't be doing this all the time out in Cambridge anyway. I wouldn't have privacy. You've heard the stuff. There's always people walking around, and the library's already closed. It's Sunday. It was only open from 1 to 5 on Sundays. And man, oh man, it must have been cold last night because it is cold outside. Oh, don't you worry. There's no way Brian Buchanan stepped outside. Don't you worry. I'd be more worried about Steve. I know, isn't it kind of amazing too? You just go. I'm sure even Steve just goes, hmm, big fat. Yeah, I'm sure Steve just goes, boop, big fat. I remember that Donnie and John used to talk about that in their own little hints, like, Mary, how do you think this dude is going into all these people's apartments, Airbnbs and stuff, and hotel rooms? No one does that with us. They told me they were just like, oh yeah, if someone asked me for a thing, they're like explaining it to me. I'm sure no one asked Steve to go into their place either. It's been probably it's been since the warming center closed on May 1st that Steve's been sleeping there. Oh, my internet's gonna shut off. Walk too far away. Forgot I had the thing on. Yeah, it's been since the warming center closed on May 1st. So Steve's been sleeping there since May 1st, and no one's ever offered him to stay at their place. So that should tell you something. It's really that disgusting. Yeah, I'm sure Steve just goes, if he ever ran into Brian again and Brian goes, oh yeah, I stayed at this guy's house and this guy's house, Steve's probably like, I don't think Steve would even ask him where I was. He's not that type of person. He likes to not get involved. Yeah, he doesn't like to get involved. I'm sure he probably wouldn't even say where's Mary. He can clearly see I'm not there. And he knew there was shouting and shit that never goes on that night. I know, just I would think Steve's probably like, I really hope she never comes back here. He might even say something like that to Brian. If Brian talked to him, Brian would completely interpret it the wrong way. I hope she never comes back here. Yeah, you two are just not good as a couple. Like you can just tell when you're together that you're just not good for each other. It's not good for a couple. That's why people go, I never saw, pictured you guys as a couple and stuff. I hope she never comes back here. You're better off without her. She's too old for you. Yeah, like there's too much of an age difference and you just have different lifestyles, whatever it takes to convince this person to never fucking contact me again. I think it's funny too when Brian will tell me that there's some weird person out here talking on his phone. I do the same thing. Really? Is there a weird person out here talking on their phone? The weird person who has his own fucking apartment? He might be talking to a person, but it's still normal. He's talking about whatever. That's what people do. They don't go film people in Boston and go to Revere Beach and go hook up with a stranger for 2 days. Yeah, the weirdo with his own apartment. The guy, Ryan doesn't like him. Ryan doesn't like anybody that's fucking halfway normal. The guy has never bothered me at all, but apparently Brian felt he was bothering him. Remember last year he accused the dude upstairs of being all fucked up on drugs and shit? Because the guy was who talked to me was nice to me. What do you care if someone's nice to Mary? You don't care anything the fuck about her. This one's an hour and 23. I wish they processed faster because I wouldn't make as many of them. I just listened to mine. That would occupy me for 2 hours. The last one was 2 hours long. Well, eventually I'll phase into watching other shit. That's why they don't like me on Facebook because I can put a video up and then just comment to myself. I don't have to bother people all over. It's easier than Twitter. Anything I like to do. Like the dude in the video making his mother sad. That's these people on the internet. Everybody, not everybody, but there's usually someone bitching about someone. That's just you're normally processing because people are so fucked up. You're so negative, dude. Get off of that phone being negative from your own fucking apartment. Aren't you just some sort of gross whore that picks up people at public fucking showers? What are you doing from your own apartment talking on your phone? One of them was obviously being nosy. Oh, did you do your hair for the second time? I'm not discussing Brian with you. I'm sure you can see he's not with me since he hasn't come out here to smoke and it's been a day. Not interested in talking about Brian, really, kind of at all, and definitely not with you. All due respect. Yeah, it's hard talking about Brian to people that don't know Brian. It's easier with like Linda or Jerry because they know him, or Leo, someone that knows him. It's easier. Steve doesn't want to do that, so I don't do that to him. But it's easier with people that know him, right? Because I don't have to explain as much, and they can see shit that he's doing. Yeah, and like usually they get kind of bummed out because it's just another person that's fucking lost and is never gonna come back, and they feel bad for me. Yeah, they don't really do that to me because, yeah, they don't go, oh, you got to stay away from him. You're never going back with him this time, right? They don't say that. No, a person decides that on their own. Maybe someone will say to him, what does she have to actually do so that you won't try to go back with her? Maybe convince you that you are the person doing that because of your obsessive history with your ex, that you call it. Yeah, maybe you have to be convinced that you're the one who can't get rid of her so that you'll leave her the fuck alone. Because it's never going to be any different. I believe God puts him in a persona to calm him down, and it's not he regrets what happened. You got to think, Almighty, why would God do that to me? Why would that happen on Tuesday night? It's just not meant to be. No one was even interfering in anything we were doing. That was just Brian, and you got to think of the totality of it all. It's hard when a person just, right, you don't want to be with the person, but you won't stop. You won't stop clinging on. Just let it go. Right, he's got to think in his head, you only contact me when what you're doing just crashes and burns. Just wait for the next uplift somewhere else. Do the time, go. I don't know if he's going to try to do a halfway house again or a shelter and get an SRO. Just do the time and stop using me as some sort of like fallback person. It's not a relationship. There's no love involved. There's no affection. There's no sexual desire. There's no caring, not even as a friend. Right. My friends come around and pick up the pieces and make sure I'm not alone and take care of me after you take off. Maybe eventually you won't have to rely upon people that are also preying upon you and taking advantage of what just happened between us, and you'll have an actual friend. I don't know. It sounds like it's been difficult even doing that, speaking to people that used to be friends of yours. It can't be normal that for 2.5 years we're not interacting with these people as a couple, and then all of a sudden they want to be a friend. There's no way that's a friend. That doesn't make any sense. So maybe stop going back and talking to people that you already knew. Just completely stop doing that. And God forbid he's got to constantly be talking to somebody. I mean, other than my sister, uh, right? Who am I even talking to? I wasn't even gonna mention it. Jerry said, "Are you guys doing okay? Are you talking about Brian? We're not together anymore. I'm doing all right." And that was it. Like, it maybe just don't keep talking to people that you know that we had nothing to do as a couple. People don't do that when they're your friends. They really don't.